Hey everyone, I am out in my garden. It's Saturday and I planted some flowers. You can see one over my shoulder this morning, which always feels good. And it's nice to have it not raining. So chapter 26 is the Battle of the Boulder, and it's a long chapter, and so I'm going to have to split it in two. So I'll read the first part and then I'll do the second part in another recording. So the Battle of the Boulder. What had happened to Thistle and Curly Dock? When Thistle, under attack from the beaver, lost her grip on the raft, she let herself sink below the water's surface. A good swimmer, she had the sense to move fast and far away from the tumbled raft as well as the beaver. For as long as her lungs allowed her to, she swam underwater. Then she rose to the surface and cried out, "Curly Dock! Poppy!" There was no reply, and it was too dark to see anything. Terribly distressed, Thistle swam about in circles, in search of her companions. She was still searching when she heard a faint splash. "Who's that?" she called. "It's me, Curly Dock. Who's that?" "Thistle. Where are you?" "Here. Keep talking. Try to swim toward me. I'll try to move toward you." The two met in the middle of the pond. "Where's Poppy?" was the first thing Curly Dock said. "I hoped she'd be with you." "I didn't see her. See what happened to her." "Do you think she's all right?" asked Thistle. "I don't know. Listen." There came what sounded like a faint cry. "Here we are," Thistle called back loudly. "Shh! A beaver might hear you." In any case, there was no response. "Curly Dock? What? Poppy said she wasn't that good of a swimmer." "Do you think?" Curly Dock stammered. "Do you think she drowned?" Instead of replying, Thistle said, "We'd better get back to the land." "Which way?" Thistle tried to gauge their place. "I think that way is the closest." She pointed that way with her nose. The two mice swam steadily. Neither spoke until they reached the shore. As soon as they got out, both looked back over the pond. "Do you see anything?" Thistle said. "No." "What are we going to tell Ma and Pa?" "Better just say what happened," Curly Dock replied. "What do you think happened?" "She must have drowned." Thistle shook her head. Curly Dock said, "She said she couldn't swim and we didn't hear her, did we?" "Maybe she got to the lodge anyway." "Thistle, even if she did, she said she'd need us to get Rye out." "But then, what'll happen to Rye?" There was no answer. Suddenly Thistle said, "Curly Dock, Ma and Pa were moving tonight. We don't know where they went." "Maybe they left a note." The two mice ran up the hill. There was pale light, but no sun yet, upon the eastern horizon when an exhausted Thistle and Curly Dock, full of their awful news, reached the hilltop. To their complete surprise, they saw the entire family working in a frenzy. Half were laboring in the ditch before the boulder. The others were toiling about the boulder's base, hauling away dirt as fast as they could. Most of the earth around the boulder already had been moved. To Thistle and Curly Dock's eyes, the boulder appeared to be resting on absolutely nothing. "Pa!" Curly Dock called. Valerian turned. His mouth opened with surprise. "Why, what are you two doing here? Did you free Rye? Where's Poppy?" "Pa," Thistle said, "we were getting close to the beaver's lodge on a raft when one of the beavers discovered us." "No." Then we got whacked with the tail," Curly Dock continued, "and the raft went over. But Thistle and I, we're good swimmers." "You mean Poppy?" "We're not sure, but drowned probably." Valerian, mouth agape, struggled to control his emotions. Turning away, he gazed at the boulder, the ditch, the pond. "Pa?" Thistle asked, "What's everybody doing?" Valerian explained the best he could. "You're going to smash the dam?" Curly Dock exclaimed when he heard the plan. And here's a picture. I lost my place. Let's find it again. "We're trying, but I think I'd better talk to your mother. Tell her your news." And he hurried away. Clover, to oversee her part of the digging, had established herself with her 3 youngest just behind the large stone. The moment Valerian appeared, she bolted up. "What is it? Something has happened. I can see it in your face." "It's Thistle and Curly Dock." Clover shut her eyes. They were going to the lodge on a wood chip when a beaver turned them over. "Valerian, the children, what happened to them?" "Thistle and Curly Dock got back. They're good swimmers, but it's Poppy. They don't know what happened to her." "Then they never reached Rye?" "Nope." "Valerian." "Clover," Valerian asked, "what do you think we should do?" Clover dipped her head and swallowed hard, and then looked up. "Valerian, you said it before. Poppy's a clever mouse. Maybe she's all right. Maybe she isn't. But I still think we have to get that boulder going down the ditch like we planned. We have to do something." "But Clover, if Rye's still in the lodge, it might make things worse." The 2 mice stared at each other. "Valerian," Clover said, struggling to remain dry-eyed, "I still think we have to try. I do." "I guess you're right," Valerian returned grimly. "The ditch is pretty much done. How soon can we push the boulder down?" Clover, burping one of the babies, said, "We only need to dig a little bit more, and then—" Whatever Clover was about to say was cut off by a shout on the other side of the hill. "Beavers!" came the cry. "The beavers are attacking!" "Oh my gosh, work as fast as you can," Valerian urged Clover. "We'll try to hold them off." He gave Clover a quick hug, then tore around to the front of the boulder to see what was happening. 13 beavers had waddled out of the pond, arrayed all in a row, dripping wet. They were whacking their broad tails on the earth, making an awful racket. Their teeth, side by side, looked like an orange picket fence. In the middle of the line was Mr. Candid, peering up at the boulder. Now that the mice work had progressed so far, he was able to grasp what it was the mice were trying to do. "Great balls of fire," he raged. "You're going to topple that boulder. If it comes down, it'll hit the dam. It's unfair. It's wrong-headed. It's a matter of life and death." Up he reared. "For the honor of Candid's cute condos," he bawled, "we've got to draw the line somewhere. Give me a dam or give me death. Go whole hog. Go for broke. Fight tooth and tail. Charge!" As one, the beavers began to waddle up the hill. The mice, taken by surprise, stopped working on the boulder and the ditch. Too terrified to do anything, they simply stared at the advancing line of beavers. Valerian rushed down. "Defend yourselves," he cried. "If only for a few minutes. That's what we need." Galvanized, the mice scrambled in all directions, running and tripping over themselves as they gathered up sticks, pebbles, and clods of dirt. "Hold your fire," Valerian cried. "Wait till you can see the gap between their teeth." The beavers, beating their tails, pressed up the hill. Their sheer bulk was enough to frighten away some of the mice. Curly Dock, unable to restrain himself, charged down the hill with a mud ball in either paw. "Come on," he called. "Don't stand there. Attack!" Thistle, armed with a pointed stick, was the first to join him. As soon as he was in throwing range, Curly Dock chucked his mud balls at the beavers. When these balls bounced harmlessly off the beavers' pelts, he gathered up more and threw them. Unfazed, the beavers continued their advance. "Be warned," Mr. Candid bawled at the mice. "We don't intend to let anything happen to that boulder." Valerian, meanwhile, was in a frenzy, organizing his sons, daughters, and grandchildren into 3 brigades. "When I give the word," he told them, "the first group will follow me. Go after one beaver at a time. It's the only way. You other 2 groups attack when you think it's time. Now, chins up, whiskers straight, nose a quiver. Let's show them what mice can do." And I'll stop.